Okay, so I was gonna. Hassan said that we shouldn't be allowed, that we shouldn't be shitting on Bill Burr,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill Burr says we shouldn't be shitting on John Wayne. So we're gonna shit on Bill Burr, and then we're gonna shit on John Wayne.
He's in my top 5 that are alive right now.
John Wayne or Bill Burr?
Bill Burr.
I think I'm a fan, but he just has too many stupid takes for me to fucking ignore.
Oh.
I'm sorry, dude. It's just funny to me.
I can't agree. I can think that the joke was structured well with it.
Oh, yeah.
The point is dumb.
Yeah. Also, him going yeah. Well, hold on.
Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what? They got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid ass woke white people, right? Oh my God! Did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of fucking white people.
Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, he's got to say white people. He uses that to give himself a pass all the time. Here's what John Wayne said, just in case you're curious. I believe in white supremacy, and I don't feel guilty about the fact that 5 or 10 generations ago, these people were slaves. I believe in white supremacy. Okay, so obviously, there's a whole generation of kids who don't know John Wayne. They're not John Wayne fans, right?
No.
So, but they know that he's on stamps. They know that they name airports after him. They know he's this American hero, and then lo and behold, they find out he calls himself that he's a white supremacist. So they're gonna be they're gonna get on Twitter and go, "What?"
I mean, yeah, no. Chuck D said.
But they don't know Public Enemy,
yeah,
too.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they know Public Enemy, so they could have had a heads up and a little warning, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
You know? So, there's some more. Bill Burr's got some more. And by the way, he's saying something that I've heard Dr. Phil say and that I've heard Bill Maher say. So, that's not good company for Bill Burr.
John Wayne was born in 1907. That's what the fuck he's gonna sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely
Well, first of all,
is.
No, it absolutely isn't. It absolutely is not.
Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They'd take a water bottle. They're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd go, oh, oh, oh.
You know, exactly like segregation. What was he talking about? What is he even talking about? And his abortion take is stupid too. But hold on, let's do the John Wayne thing. All right, let's actually listen to an interview with John Wayne now.
Yeah, because like eugenics and the ice bucket challenge are the same thing.
Okay, so now he's saying he's of his time. This
Right.
is how everybody talked, even though this is in the 70s. This is how everybody talked. Now, and nobody thinks this way anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I find fascinating about this.
Patriotism has never wavered, but today he's a little disillusioned with modern America.
We're being represented by men who are kowtowing to minorities where they can get votes. And I think it's bad for our country. And I am sad to see minorities make so much of themselves as a hyphenated American. I wish they'd all get to thinking that they're Americans as they should, and as they have luckily been born here and couldn't be better off in any other place.
Wait a sec. You know how many times you ever watch like Ken Burns jazz? They constantly talk about how jazz musicians used to go to France to go get so that they could go eat dinner with their friends. You know, without getting harassed.
And also, this was the 70s, so it was long past when Europe had already created like the post-war welfare state. So they had a higher standard of living.
Oh, exactly, dude. But dude, tell me how is that any different than the stuff you hear today?
It's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same shit. So what's he mean like that he was of his time?
like multiculturalism is just the word they used back then, and now they call it wokeism.
Oh, by the way, no one's going to cancel John Wayne. Here's the thing. As a fan of John Wayne movies, I would like to say, if you are scared of John Wayne being canceled, then you should join me in my call to nationalize Turner Classic Movies. Turner Classic Movies, I'm not kidding, dude. Turner Classic Movies should be funded by the NEA.
I can definitely agree with that.
Because they're constantly having money problems, and Martin Scorsese and all these filmmakers are all scared all the time. Steven Spielberg, they're like stepping in to go talk to the executives over there because whenever there's a new president, because they're all in panic mode over it. The state should be financing Turner Classic Movies. And you could go watch Hellfighters or Rio Bravo or Hatari or McHugh or Rio Lobo or El Dorado or The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
And let's be honest, like I'm a lot more scared of like losing Robert Altman films than I am of losing any Steven Spielberg films.
Yeah. And you know how the Criterion Collection, the Criterion Channel caused all this controversy because they censored Gene Hackman saying the N-word?
I didn't hear that, no.
Oh, they censored Gene Hackman saying the N-word because we can't portray cops as racists. So Turner Classic Movies doesn't do that. They don't mess with movies at all. I mean, they have like crazy movies. They got Freebie and the Bean, which is one of the most homophobic, fascistic buddy cop movies ever. It's also hilarious. It's Alan Arkin playing a Mexican guy going like, "I'm Alan Arkin."
What's probably going to happen it'll be bought out by an advertising firm that'll find a way like
they're gonna Red Lobster TCM.
Yeah.
You want to worry about canceling John Wayne? That's what you do. You federalize. You subsidize Turner Classic Movies. All right.
Yeah, put it in the Library of Congress.
There shouldn't be so much whining and bellyaching.
Oh wait, that's the funniest part.
Here and couldn't be better off in any other place. There shouldn't be so much whining and bellyaching.
Because that's not what John Wayne's doing right now.
You mean
is whining and bellyaching.
You mean the time in American cities that had the highest murder rate per capita? The 70s?
Yeah. Stop whining and bellyaching.
In the late 60s and early 70s, there was a period of considerable change. Civil rights for blacks.
Oh, by the way, and speaking of, when he says John Wayne was of his time, I'd hate to break it to you, he was part of the McCarthy blacklist. He was destroying people's careers. He was doing real canceling of careers. So how is Dalton Trumbo and him the same person?
Right.
Like, so there were no people who were... So everybody was exactly like John Wayne in the 1950s. Then how do you explain Dalton Trumbo? In every other leftist screenwriter, which, by the way, he never apologized for. In fact, he was proud of it till the day he died, that he destroyed these people's careers.
Of considerable change. Civil rights for blacks, equal rights for women. Has this made America a better place?
I am saddened by the fact that although we were a matriarchy, I think we will not be any longer. I think opening doors and tipping your hat to ladies is probably a thing of the past.
Was that funny? Did he just say what he did? Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah. First of all, when
he doesn't know what a matriarchy is.
When he says we were a matriarchy, is he referring to the American Indians before we genocided them? That's who the we are?
What he meant is women were queens, which meant they didn't have to do things like vote.
Yeah. we tipped their hat to them. I'm sure they were complaining more again about like random guys slapping their ass wherever they went.
There are at least 2 films, John Wayne movies, and you would know this, you kids would know this if you paid attention to John Wayne movies. There are 2 John Wayne movies that end with him spanking a woman. with giving a grown-ass woman a spanking.
Which, first of all, I am very much pro-consensual spanking.
That tears it. That's usually how the movie is. It's McClintock and a movie I really like called Donovan's Reef, where he's like, that tears it. And he grabs some woman who's his girlfriend who's like 40 years younger than he is and bends her over.
Now, first of all, let a player play.
Opening doors and tipping your hat to ladies is probably a thing of the past. The forerunners of the women's liberation of today have taken that feeling away from the average American man.
But what about the civil rights? I mean, it's
I know
necessary.
what he means, because I have never been
we have
to,
20
like,
million
school.
blacks on this continent.
Right.
It was necessary
Because of feminism, right?
Yeah.
to extend rights to them that perhaps for the first 199 years were denied them in this free America.
I guess that they've had a pretty tough break, but not quite as bad as you and your do-gooder friends would have them believe.
Okay, I just replaced do-gooder with woke. And I used to say this when they would use the term social justice warrior. I used to go, what's wrong with social justice?
The FBI just, shut down their movements, assassinated their leaders, threw a bunch of people in prison off of trumped up.
That's because they weren't do-gooders.
Yeah.
They were do-badders. How is doing good like a pejorative? Like, that's an insult, you do-gooder. What? Like,
live as well here as they live in any other country over
except
that
France and
199
England
years.
and Canada. And
True, I think they do have a right to more rights, but it isn't a thing where the rest of the country should feel terribly guilty about anything because they have had a better life here and their fathers and mothers than they would have had any place else.
that's just a lie. And also, this is the thing that I've heard like Steven Crowder say and stuff like that about white guilt. And Nick DiPaolo, I've heard him talk about this. Dude, like, that's projection, man. Like, why do I have to feel guilty about anything?
Okay, I don't feel guilty, but I think you should do something.
I think he feels guilty.
Yeah.
Because he's the racist. Because the entire society is telling him, hey, you're a racist, dude.
Maybe if you feel guilty because you're actively defending oppression.
Yes, exactly. That's part of you knows it's wrong. So the only people that really have white guilt are people like John Wayne and Bill Burr when he goes white people were complaining, or when he gets on SNL and he starts complaining about white women, he really just wants to complain about women. I mean, do you honestly think that? I mean, we literally just mentioned Public Enemy calling John Wayne a racist.
Yeah.
So why did he say white people?
What do you mean?
Is he suggesting that black people don't object to John Wayne? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what's he talking about?
And I want to see them have everything. I don't squawk and cry baby and say, geez, I had to go without meals when I was 16 and 17 years.
You just spent 2 minutes and 23 seconds squawking and crybabying.
That somebody might make you feel bad about something.
Yes, exactly.
Not like actual problems, but somebody might
Want to vote.
Yeah.